Is pre-recording videos cheating during beta? I don't know. And I don't care, because I don't have time to make a video today, because my friend Creepy is in town and she's gonna pick me up from work and we're going to go to the movies. We're going to watch Rubinrot and Beautiful Creatures. And that made me think about read it first or read it second. I want to talk about books and movies, and I don't want to talk about how bad some movie adaptations are, or book adaptations. How do you say that? The movie adaptation of the book? I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is reading the book first and then watching the movie, or watching the movie first and then read the book. And I know most of BookTube is like, oh, you have to read the book first. And normally I'm on that side. I mean, there are a lot of books that I actually ran out to read before I watched the movie. The Help is one example for that, and I'm glad I read the book because the movie adaptation was so different from the book and I enjoyed the book more, and I actually got mad at the movie adaptation. But when it comes to all those movies that are coming out at the moment in the YA section, I haven't read any of those. I haven't read either Rubinrot or Beautiful Creatures. And I thought about reading them first, but I just couldn't make myself. Especially Beautiful Creatures has gotten so many diverse reviews lately. A lot of people say like, oh, it's such a great book. But everybody who's picked it up lately seems to say like, yeah, I had to fight my way through it. It wasn't as good and there were some flaws, and yeah, I'm glad I read it, but... And I was just thinking like, I'm not really that interested in the whole thing that I figured I could just watch the film first, and if I like it I can still read the book and start on the rest of the series. But I just couldn't really fit the book in before the movie came out. And I've had that same problem for quite a lot of movie adaptations lately. The same with The Host. I've picked up The Host, I don't know, a few years ago, read the first chapter, and then I put it back down and forgot about it. And I've never had the chance to pick it up again, or the desire. So now the movie keeps getting postponed in Germany. So it was supposed to come out last week, but now it's the first week in June. So I don't know, maybe they'll postpone it again and I still find the time to read the book. But I don't feel the desire to read it, especially just to watch the film. With these kinds of films, I sometimes think, yeah, just go and watch the film. It doesn't matter that much. The same with Rubinrot. I don't think I've read any book by, what's her name, Kirsten Gier? I'll look it up and put a link somewhere. I've never read anything by her, and I have friends who like it, but I don't know that many people who read that. And I'm like, well, the movie's out now. Just go and watch it. It's faster sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like that. I'm a bad reader when it comes to thinking like, it's just faster entertainment. I get to know the story when I'm not that into the writer or into the field or whatever. That I think like, yeah, just go ahead and watch the movie. It doesn't matter. The same as the City of, what's it, Bones the first? City of Bones is the first? That comes out in the summer as well. And I'm just not sure if I want to read the series. You know, I love the Infernal Devices. And everybody says that's much better written than the Mortal Instruments. And the Mortal Instruments have more love triangles, or a different love triangle, or some kind of love triangle in there that is just, yeah, probably going to get on my nerves. And so I figured I can just go and watch the film instead of reading the book. I don't know, maybe I'll like it and pick up the books afterwards. I'm not opposed to picking up books after I've seen the movie. That's what happened with Twilight. I've seen the movie before I even knew anything about Twilight. I haven't heard of it. It was just an accident that I went and watched the film. I didn't even plan on watching it. And I fell in love with the story, and I fell in love with the series, and I got the books and I read them in a week. And maybe that's what happens with Beautiful Creatures, The Host, and City of Bones and whatever. But at the moment, I don't feel like reading them. And somehow I feel bad for that. I don't know why. Oh, and there's another author I would never read, but I like to watch his films. That is Nicholas Sparks. I cannot make myself read a book of his. They're way too big, they're too much romance probably. But I love watching his films. You know what's happening, sort of like the flow of the story. They make you cry, they make you laugh, they make you, aww. And yeah, I like watching the films, but I would never pick up a book of his. So tell me, what is your opinion on this? Read it first, read it second, or not read it at all? Do you have some authors where you really like the movie adaptations, but you wouldn't pick up the book like I do? Or do you have books that you picked up because you saw the film, Or did you read books and then dislike the film and regretted watching it? I shouldn't have watched this film. Just tell me your opinion on this, and please don't hate me for watching the films without reading the books. Please?
So I decided to venture out into the great unknown world of discussion videos. Basically what I plan on doing is making sort of a reader's alphabet,